we've had a dearth of official announcements from Republicans that they are running for the presidential nomination so far this year, and that is unusual. In previous years, by this point in the year before an election, candidates have made official announcements, but we have had candidates making unofficial announcements of the formation of presidential exploratory committees and websites and what have you. So a lot of candidates are in all but name official candidates at this point. Let's look at where some of these stand. Last week, Rick Santorum, he's the former senator from Pennsylvania, announced the formation of a presidential exploratory committee. Again, not an official announcement, but just the announcement of a committee. Well, where does he stand at this point? 43% name identification for Santorum. That's not great, known by less than half of Republicans nationwide. And his positive intensity score, as we measure it here at Gallup, that's the percent of people who know a candidate who have a strongly favorable opinion, minus those who have a strongly unfavorable opinion, is 13. And that's average for all candidates. So Santorum's certainly not breaking out from the pack at this point based on our look at the data. Let's look at some other candidates. Tim Pawlenty, last week he let it slip in an interview that he will be a presidential candidate, but then he and his campaign said, wait a minute, we're not making that official yet. He, of course, is the former governor of Minnesota. Well, Pawlenty right now has characteristics exactly the same as those of Santorum, 43% name ID and a 13% positive intensity score. Michelle Bachmann, she's the current Congresswoman for Minnesota, one of only 2 sitting members of Congress who are running for president or could run for president. The other's Ron Paul. She's doing pretty well. Her name ID now up to 56%. That's a slight increase over the last number of weeks, but also her positive intensity score is now at 22. That's the highest for Bachmann so far and is second only to that of Mike Huckabee. So Bachmann continues to have people who know her, Republicans who know her, telling us that they have strongly favorable opinions about the Congresswoman from Minnesota. So she'll probably be a factor, it looks like to us, in the campaign. Finally, what about Mitt Romney? A lot of handicappers say that he may be the favorite for the nomination. Well, at the moment, we're not seeing any signs of unusual fervor on the part of Republicans who know him. He does have a high name ID, as you see, but his positive intensity score is only 15, and that's just slightly above average at this point, and that's tied for the lowest for Romney that we've tracked. So again, Romney at this point not generating a lot of strong enthusiasm among Republicans across the nation. That's an update for you on where we stand on the race for the GOP nomination and the right to contend against Barack Obama in next year's presidential election. I'm Dr. Frank Newport, Gallup's Editor-in-Chief.